Hello, my name is Lillian and today I'm going to teach you how to carve a pumpkin. This is perfect timing considering Halloween is sneaking up on all of us and it is just around the corner on Sunday. Did you also know that the original jack-o'-lanterns were made out of turnips and potatoes in Ireland? So let's get started. In only 5 easy steps, you will have a fully carved pumpkin. Step 1 of carving the pumpkin is making sure that you have a clean pumpkin. So it is important to wash it. Sometimes there's fungus or dirt from the pumpkin patch, and it is important to get that off so that you don't get a messy workspace or messy hands when carving the pumpkin. Now that we have a clean pumpkin, we're going to make sure that it is dry before we start carving. We do not want the knife to slip and cut us while we are opening it up. Now, at the top of the pumpkin, right by the stem, I'm going to draw a big circle, which is going to indicate where I'm going to cut to open up the pumpkin. The goal here is to open it up and scoop all of the seeds and the innards out so that then we will have a hollow pumpkin that we can put a candle in. So now that I've drawn the line, I will use one of these little saws from my pack I got at Deerberg's. All right, so we're gonna insert the blade with the roughest side pointing forward, and we're gonna make sure that our hand is completely out of the way so that if the knife were to slip, you are not gonna cut yourself. So we're gonna cut right along this line here. All right, now we're gonna pry open the top. All of the fun, gooey guts in the middle. Ooh. So now I'm gonna shave off the seeds and the guts from this. Once again, keeping the blade away from my hands. And I need to make sure not to cut too much or else it's not going to close all the way like it did. All right, we are going to scoop off all of the seeds out of the middle of the pumpkin. You can see that some of them are kind of stuck inside and they're a little bit stubborn, but we can use this little tool here to kind of scrape them off. And once they're all loose, you're going to take the pumpkin to a section of the yard where your mother gives you permission to grow pumpkins in the future. So we're going to dump all the seeds in the guts. Make sure that we have a nice, clean pumpkin. You can also save the seeds and use them to make pumpkin seeds, which you can bake in the oven and make a nice savory snack for Halloween. All right, now that we have removed the guts, we're going to place the top of the pumpkin back on. Now it is time to pick a design. Once you have picked a design, you're going to draw it out on the pumpkin. Now you can either use a stencil from a book, which are a little bit difficult as you can see, or you can just freehand it. So today, in order to make a simple pumpkin, I will be freehanding a jack-o'-lantern. Now that we have our design drawn, we're going to carve it. So it is important to use the littlest knife, especially when carving out small and delicate spaces. Now, I obviously am good at pumpkin carving, but I am not an expert. So I have such a simple design that I do not need to use the smallest one actually. Sometimes when you are carving a pumpkin, it does not go exactly the way you want it to, and you only bought one pumpkin. If that is the case, that is okay. That is what jack-o'-lanterns are all about. You do not need to have a perfectly carved pumpkin to have a nice time carving a pumpkin. So as you can see, my pumpkin only has one tooth, and that is okay because we live in an inclusive world. The last and final step of pumpkin carving is putting a candle in the pumpkin. Make sure to turn the candle on. Put the lid back on the pumpkin. And there we go, a fully carved jack-o'-lantern. Thank you for watching, and make sure to be careful around any knives that you use when carving a jack-o'-lantern. Also, please remember, you can always cook and use any part of the pumpkin that you throw out. Thank you.